Hi, it's been a little while since we've had a learning sesh, so I thought, why not Baby Friday happy hour? Let's do it. And I wore this shirt because I thought it was so appropriate considering we honored Martin Luther King this week. And if you love it, you can get yours from Political Potheads. So please, for this learning sesh, grab anything that you want to enjoy while we learn about all things cannabis. Your joints, your bongs, your dab rigs, your edibles, whatever it is. Today, I am going to be consuming a CBD joint from Treadwell Farms. They are a local to Florida CBD hemp farmer. And I'm going to be smoking CBD because that is what we're talking about today. But wait, don't turn it off. I promise there's really good information. Okay, so CBD, what is it? First, let me start by saying that when I got involved in medical marijuana, I thought CBD was bullshit. I really thought it was the legal version of THC, of marijuana. And I thought as soon as THC becomes legal, CBD is going to be out the door. No one's going to care about it. They think CBD is good. Wait until they try THC. But as time has gone on, I've realized and learned that CBD has its own incredible health benefits. Some of the benefits are the same that THC has. Some of them are very different and unique to CBD. Some of the properties, CBD actually helps THC work better. So CBD has a lot of really, really beneficial properties to it. What is CBD? CBD stands for cannabidiol. Cannabidiol, or CBD, is a cannabinoid. Just like THC is a cannabinoid, there's actually over 100 different cannabinoids, not just THC and CBD, but CBD is the one that we're focusing on now. It comes from a cannabis plant. It is a different type of cannabis plant that we call hemp. The buds of this plant, which I'll show you, look just like marijuana. And the buds are coated in that frosty goodness, so those little crystals, those trichromes. And when you zoom in on them, they look like this, nature's capsules. And inside this oil is where all those cannabinoids and flavonoids and terpenes live. So that is where you will also find CBD in the hemp plant. In the hemp plant, the buds are coated with crystals that are heavier in CBD and very light in THC. CBD interacts with our endocannabinoid system just like THC does. What is our endocannabinoid system? Good question, important to know. Your endocannabinoid system maintains homeostasis or balance within your body. So some of the things it regulates are your appetite, digestion, mood, pain, sleep. It controls a lot of things. When we consume cannabis, it interacts naturally with our endocannabinoid system. Those cannabinoids, those phytocannabinoids that come from a plant, interact and bind with our internal cannabinoid system. CBD doesn't bind with our receptors like THC does. Instead, it influences them. But if our endocannabinoid system moderates so many things like pain, sleep, appetite, digestion, even your immune system, obviously when you take CBD, it's having a deep biological effect. So what are some of the things that CBD can help with? I feel that everyone should be on CBD every day, like a multivitamin. I think it does things that you don't even realize it's doing. For example, it helps keep our endocannabinoid system healthy. Over time, those receptors, you lose them. They start kind of dying out, just like everything else in our body. It starts slowing down and degenerates. Well, CBD keeps our endocannabinoid system healthy, preventing chronic illness and disease as we get older. CBD is also a major help for, and I've got my little list here because I don't want to miss anything. It's a major help for anxiety, inflammation. With Crohn's disease, when I started CBD, it was the cherry on top of the sundae. it really, really made the biggest difference of everything that I've ever noticed. So inflammation, depression, and they also show through anecdotal evidence, meaning that there isn't a ton of scientific research because it's just legal, over-the-counter legal in 2018. So we're still doing those scientific researches and studies, but there's a lot of anecdotal evidence, meaning that people have reported that they've seen improvements in things. So in autoimmune diseases, neurological conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, neuropsychiatric illness, autism, PTSD, GI disorders, Crohn's, colitis, cardiovascular dysfunction, and skin disease. But this is what I also think is so fascinating about it, is that it's been proven and it's being studied further as a neuroprotective, meaning that it actually protects our neurons in our brain, and it helps grow new brain cells over time. I would love that as I get older. I think that would be an incredible thing to have and maintain. The other thing you have to remember is that CBD can take anywhere from 4 days to 4 weeks to really kick in. And again, sometimes it's doing things that you don't even notice. And maybe at the end of 4 weeks, you notice, oh, I don't have that pain in my elbow anymore, or I'm not getting as many headaches this week as I've gotten in the past. You'll notice these little benefits. So what do you look for? There's a lot of products that are out there and it can be really confusing. Something that's important to understand is that CBD is not regulated by the FDA. We are starting to get regulations here in Florida, but it's still buyer beware. So what does that mean? That means that when you look at a label of CBD product, they're allowed to put anything and everything that they want. It's not regulated. So you need to have the knowledge and know what you're looking at to make sure that you're buying a quality product. What you want to look for, there's different types of CBD. There's 3 types. There's full spectrum, there's broad spectrum, and there's isolate. Full spectrum means it has all of the goodies in it. It has the terpenes, the flavonoids, the cannabinoids. It has less than 0.3% THC, which is what it must have to be legal and sold over the counter, but it does have a little bit of THC in there. With a full spectrum, you're getting the entourage effect that I know and love so well and promote so much. That is where the full medicine comes from this plant, is full spectrum. Then there's also broad spectrum. Broad spectrum means that they've removed the THC. It still has the flavonoids, the terpenes, and the other cannabinoids, but the THC has been removed. This is the best option is if you do regular drug testing. Even though it's a very small amount of THC, that THC can still show up in a drug test. So if you are drug tested, I strongly recommend going for a broad spectrum versus a full spectrum. You do have one more option though, and that is an isolate. An isolate, it's typically in powdered form, and it means everything's been removed. All the flavonoids, all the terpenes, all the cannabinoids, except for CBD. It is completely safe to use if you're drug tested, but you lose a lot of the entourage effect. You lose all of those medical benefits that you get from all that other stuff. So an isolate to me is worst case scenario, last option. You have no other choice. It's better than nothing. Some CBD is better than nothing at all. If you are randomly drug tested, highly recommend the broad spectrum instead. At least you're still getting those terpenes and flavonoids and other cannabinoids. If you're not drug tested, go full spectrum. Full spectrum CBD or any of these other options shouldn't make you euphoric. It is psychoactive in that it is working on your brain cells, but it's not making you feel euphoric. Some people that are very sensitive to cannabis, it will still make you feel a little relaxed. So it's something to note and always to try at home when you don't have to go anywhere first before experimenting at other times. So going back to now you know those 3 types of CBD, how do you know it's a good product? What do you look for? What are the questions that you ask? So the number one thing is a COA, a certificate of analysis. You want to make sure that when you buy a CBD product, every single product has a COA. Don't let them just put one blanket COA on the entire website. That doesn't count. It has to be for every single product and every single batch of oil made. And the COA is going to tell you exactly what's in that product. It's best if it comes from a third party, meaning someone random is testing this, and it's going to show you how much CBD is present, how much THC is present. It also shows you heavy metals, mold, pesticides, things like that. CBD and hemp is a very absorbent plant. It sucks in everything and anything that's in the soil. So you want to make sure you see those tests to make sure those pesticides and heavy metals and contaminants are not there, and that it actually has CBD in it. If you do a research on products, I've seen that they have tested CBD products and over 70% of them that said they had CBD don't even have any CBD at all. So ask for the COA. That is going to tell you what is in it and prove that there's CBD in it and that it's a quality product. Other things to look for is organic. Obviously, again, if it is so absorbent, you want your grower to use organic practices. There's just less chance of anything being left over in that plant that can go into your product. Made in the US, we have cleaner growing conditions and standards here than they do overseas. Again, just keeps that plant and the growing conditions cleaner and that end product cleaner. A clear label, you want to make sure that it's labeled with what type of CBD it is. You also, I love when I see little codes so that you can scan. It'll show you the certificate of analysis. Sometimes you'll see that on the label, and how much it is, how much dosage it is, what it's made out of, what's in it, what kind of carrier oil is it. If those things aren't listed, I get very, very weary. If in doubt, pick up the phone, call the company, ask these questions. Can I see your COA? Tell me about your hemp. Where is it grown? And a lot of times when you ask these questions, if it's the right company to work with, they will gush about their plants. They'll tell you everything about their growing practices. They'll be happy and ecstatic to send you a COA that you're asking these right questions. If they tend to go more towards, oh, CBD is great for inflammation, and yeah, we have this awesome balm and a COA. Oh yeah, I think I can get that for you. Run, because that means that it's all a marketing scheme, and they're in the business for the wrong reasons. Just like a crop or a plant or food that's homemade or homegrown, they're gonna tell you everything and anything you need to know about it. So trust your gut, trust your intuition when shopping for the products, but do the research and dig. So what kind of products are out there for CBD? There's a lot of them. There's capsules. I take capsules every day. I prefer capsules. I think for my Crohn's disease, it just goes where it needs to go and more gets to that site of inflammation. There's also tinctures, which are the most popular. There's flower, which yes, you can smoke CBD flower. I think CBD is fantastic for so many reasons. There's also topicals I use for cramps during that time of the month. CBD also affects how THC makes us feel. So if you consume CBD with THC, it negates some of that euphoric effect. So I think CBD is also a wonderful tool to have in your toolkit if you're primarily a THC or marijuana user. Why? Well, you can mix CBD flower into your THC flower to help level out that effect, to give you a different feeling, maybe for a different time of the day, or maybe that day you don't need to feel that strong euphoric effect. It gives you options in your medicine. It's another tool in your toolkit in addition to being a daily supplement. So I know it's a lot of information. If you have any questions, you can message me, put it in the comments below. Let's all learn from each other. And also, this is on my website. It's all in writing right there if it's a lot easier for you to follow. It's under the Learn tab. It'll say CBD, everything you need to know. And I also list some brands that I love and products that I love and use. So I hope this was helpful for you. I know it's a little longer than I like, but it's a lot of information to go over, and enjoy.